Okay, so as you're starting, this is your ending. Here at this point B, you have greater understanding. And then here you have your starting point slash thing to be understood. And on this route to this point, you have lots of other points of context here. So this might be story of baby trauma, baby trauma, baby trauma. We'll fill this with baby trauma. Fuck my handwriting. And this might be other experiences. And then this will probably get into specifics about the point to be understood. Now, here's what happens. This is setting up the context, and all of these things modify each other. They modify each other to get to greater understanding. But if you get to a point where if it's a specifics about this thing to be understood, so for example, Brett Contreras, let's put Brett here. Contreras, that situation. If you go here and you spend a lot of focus time here and you make other context, and all of the context is focused on this particular situation, and then I say there are other situations, that means there are other context pieces. And if I say, here's another one, this one down here is modus vivendi, and then this response. And then you want to talk about the specific thing said. You want to talk about that. And you're focusing a lot on this and a lot on this, and you can't get past this. If we cannot get past these 2 points, and by the way, if you can't get past this without needing to argue about that, you never get to this place. Now, this is where I live. This is me. I'm the only person who can get you here. I'm solely focused on greater understanding. Not to have this fight, not because any of this is a fight. Because all I want is to get to this point. But what happens is something gets triggered here where there's this need to have a lot of discussion about context. So this small point, truly small point, turns into something much bigger, to the point where you'd almost have to draw a different railroad over here and talk about this as your understanding, which this is a real point. This is a real point, okay? Not to say that it's not, but this point is outside of the direction of this point, which means if you want to focus solely on your understanding of context and you want to argue this direction, you cannot go this direction. They are opposite directions because this one requires more context and more pattern. So this is based on, to get to greater understanding is based on pattern that has 2 T's, pattern recognition. Because these are all patterns and there's all associations. But you cannot get to this place without hearing how all of these things modify each other. And if you focus to this context and you want to have this argument or turn this into an argument, you never get here. And my whole point of life is to get here, pretty much always. In any argument ever, I want to get here. But there's a need that people have, I don't quite understand it yet, where people want to derail you and have this argument. It's not that this argument isn't a real one, it's that it's not time for this.
Count with hot pause.